The Sale of Goods Act, 1930, Sections 1 to 10. Concept of goods. 1. Statutory definition, Section 2(7). Under Section 2(7) of the Sale of Goods Act, 1930, goods means every kind of movable property other than actionable claims and money, and includes stock and shares, growing crops, grass, and things attached to or forming part of the land which are agreed to be severed before sale or under the contract of sale. 2. Essential elements of goods. From the definition, the following points are clear. A. Movable property. Goods must be movable. A movable property, like land, buildings, is excluded. Checkmark example. A car, laptop, furniture right pointing arrow goods. Land, house right pointing arrow not goods. B. Exclusion of money. Money, legal tender, is not goods. But old coins or rare currency notes sold as collectibles are goods. Checkmark example. 500 rupees note used as money right pointing arrow not goods. Old British era coin sold to a collector right pointing arrow goods. See, exclusion of actionable claims. Actionable claims are rights to sue, not physical goods. Crossmark example. Debt, insurance claim right pointing arrow not goods. 3. What is included is goods. The Act expressly includes the following. A. Stock and shares. Shares, debentures, securities are treated as goods. Checkmark example. Sale of company shares right pointing arrow sale of goods. B. Growing crops and grass. Though attached to land, they are treated as goods if agreed to be severed. Checkmark example. Standing wheat crop agreed to be harvested and sold right pointing arrow goods. C. Things attached to land. Trees, minerals, or fixtures become goods only when agreed to be severed. Checkmark example. Sale of trees to be cut right pointing arrow goods. Sale of land with trees right pointing arrow not goods. 4. Types of goods. A. Existing goods. Goods already owned or possessed by the seller. Example. Goods lying in a shop or warehouse. B. Future goods, Section 2(6). Goods to be manufactured or acquired after the contract. Example. Next season's crop. Goods to be manufactured next month. C. Contingent goods. Goods whose acquisition depends on an uncertain event. Example. Goods to be supplied if a ship arrives safely. 5. Judicial interpretation. Courts have consistently held that anything movable and marketable, except money and actionable claims, can be goods. Electricity, software, non-tangible media, and gas have been treated as goods in various cases. 6. Simple summary table. Item. Goods or not. Car, mobile phone. Checkmark goods. Shares and securities. Checkmark goods. Standing crops, to be cut. Checkmark goods. Land, house, crossmark not goods. Money, as currency. Crossmark not goods. Item. Goods or not. Debt, insurance claim. Crossmark not goods. 7. Conclusion. The term, goods, under the Sale of Goods Act, 1930 is very wide. It includes all movable property, tangible or intangible, except money and actionable claims, and also covers items attached to land once they are agreed to be severed. This broad concept ensures smooth commercial transactions and wide applicability of the Act. If you want, I can also explain. Difference between goods and actionable claims. Goods vs. a movable property. Case laws on goods. Sections 1 to 10 in brief notes format for exams. Sections 1 to 10 in R.D. Saxena v. Balaram Prasad Sharma. Air 2000 South Carolina 2912. Facts of the case. Balaram Prasad Sharma was the client. R.D. Saxena was his advocate. After termination of the advocate's services, the client demanded the return of case files and documents. The advocate refused to return the files, claiming the right of lion until his professional fees were paid. Legal issue right finger whether an advocate has a lion over the litigation files and documents of his client for recovery of unpaid professional fees. Relevant legal provisions. Section 171, Indian Contract Act, 1872 General Lion. Sale of Goods Act, 1930 Concept of goods, indirect relevance. Advocates Act, 1961. Professional ethics in fiduciary relationship between advocate and client. Decision held. The Supreme Court held. Crossmark an advocate has no lion over litigation files and documents of the client. Reasoning of the court 1. Case files are not goods. All litigation files and documents do not fall within the definition of goods under the Sale of Goods Act, 1930. Or therefore, no lion can be claimed on them. 2. Advocate-client relationship is fiduciary. Or an advocate holds case files in trust for the client. Or fiduciary duties override any claim of lion. 3. Section 171 of Contract Act not applicable. Or advocates are not included among persons, like bankers, factors, wharfingers, entitled to a general lion. Or even otherwise, lion cannot be exercised over documents essential for pursuing legal remedies. 4. Professional ethics. Or withholding files would seriously prejudice the client's right to access justice. Or it is against professional conduct and public policy. 5. Alternative remedy available. Or advocates can recover unpaid fees through legal proceedings, not by retaining files. Ratio decidendi. An advocate has no lion over the case files or documents of his client, as such files are neither goods nor subject to lion, and the advocate holds them in a fiduciary capacity. Importance of the case. Protects client's right to justice. Clarifies that professional fees cannot be enforced by coercive means. Reinforces the ethical standards of the legal profession. Helps in understanding what does not qualify as goods under the Sale of Goods Act. Connection with concept of goods. The case confirms that documents and case files are not goods. Supports the principle that not all movable items are goods, they must be capable of sale and ownership transfer. Exam ready conclusion. In R.D. Saxena v. Balaram Prasad Sharma, AIR 2000 South Carolina 2912, the Supreme Court categorically held that an advocate has no lion over client's files, as such files are not goods, and the advocate's duty is fiduciary in nature. Recovery of fees must be through lawful remedies, not by withholding documents. If you want, I can also link this case with Sale of Goods Act sections 1 to 10. Compare it with bankers' lion cases. Provide short note Caselo-based answers for exam. Commissioner of Sales Tax, MP vs. MP Electricity Board, Jabalpur. Air 1970 South Carolina 732, 1969, 1 S. C. C. 200. Topic. Meaning of goods, whether electricity is goods, Sale of Goods Act and Sales Tax Law. Facts of the case. The Madhya Pradesh Electricity Board supplied electricity to consumers. The Commissioner of Sales Tax sought to levy sales tax on the supply of electricity. The Electricity Board contended that, electricity is not goods, therefore, its supply cannot be treated as a sale of goods. Legal issue right finger whether electricity is goods and whether its supply amounts to a sale of goods, liable to sales tax. Relevant law. Sale of Goods Act, 1930 Concept of goods. Entry relating to tax on sale of goods under the Constitution. Sales tax legislation of Madhya Pradesh. Decision held. Checkmark yes, electricity is goods. Checkmark supply of electricity amounts to a sale of goods. Right finger sales tax can be levied on the supply of electricity. Reasoning of the court 1. Electricity is movable property. Though intangible, electricity can be generated, can be transmitted, can be delivered, stored to an extent, measured, and consumed. Hence, it has utility, value, and marketability. 2. Goods need not be tangible. The court held that, goods need not be tangible or visible. What matters is, black small square capability of transfer, black small square possession, black small square consumption. 3. Elements of sale present. Supply of electricity involves, transfer of property, for a price, tariff, from supplier to consumer. Right finger therefore, it satisfies the essential elements of sale. 4. Practical and commercial reality. Electricity is, bought and sold daily, measured in units, paid for by consumers. Hence, it fits within the commercial concept of goods. Ratio decidendi. Electricity is goods within the meaning of sales tax law, and its supply for consideration constitutes a sale of goods. Importance of the case. Landmark judgment expanding the scope of goods. Recognized intangible movable property as goods. Followed consistently in later cases. Relevant for O sales tax, O VAT, O GST jurisprudence. Comparison with other goods cases. Case. Item treated as goods. MP Electricity Board, 1970. Electricity check mark yes. R.D. Saxena, 2000. Case files cross mark no. Tata Consultancy Services v. State of AP, 2005. Software check mark yes. Exam ready conclusion. In Commissioner of Sales Tax, MP vs. MP Electricity Board, AIR 1970 South Carolina 732, the Supreme Court held that electricity is goods, despite being intangible, because it is capable of abstraction, transmission, consumption, and transfer for consideration. Consequently, its supply constitutes a sale of goods liable to sales tax. One-line rule for exams. Goods need not be tangible. Even electricity is goods if it is transferable and marketable. If you want, I can also prepare a comparison table on what is goods, electricity, software, gas, documents. Link this case with Sale of Goods Act, Section 2, 7. Explain current GST position on electricity.